WSGO Oswego, W249BC Mattydale, W261AC Oswego, WTKWHD2 Bridgeport, ESPN Radio. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
And welcome into ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. I'm Matt Lesnick alongside Izzy Sy, Evan Fay. Boys, how are we doing today?
Doing well, Matt. And today marks the start of hoop season in Syracuse. Could not be more excited, Evan.
I am excited. Post-Halloween weekend. Let's get right into it. Q's basketball, baby.
Let's get right into it, indeed. Syracuse takes on Lemoyne at the Dome tonight at 7. A very new-look team this year. What are we expecting from this team?
Syracuse, obviously from last year, it's a completely new squad. As you said, added Eddie Lampkin in the transfer portal. You recruited Donnie Freeman, your highest recruit since Melo way back in 2003. You still have guys like J.J. Starling and Chris Bell returning to the team as well. No Judah Mintz this year for the first time in 2 years here in Central New York. So Syracuse obviously looking to get off on the right foot and to show that their new additions will make the squad better and a threat in the ACC this year.
Yeah, new and improved, but I'm really curious to see how J.J. Starling develops and kind of fills into the number one guy role as Judah Mintz leaves. I'm excited for it. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to have kind of that breakout season that we're expecting him to have. Also excited to see guys, Jaquan Carlos balled out during the preseason, balled out in that exhibition. I'd love to see how he contributes to the squad, and I think it's nothing but material to be excited for.
You mentioned J.J. Starling. Something we kind of saw with him last year is his shooting was not as expected. We're hoping this year that we saw towards the end of the year it kind of started to get better, but what are you kind of expecting to see from him on that front?
Well, Starling in conference play, he shot 37% from 3, 48% from the field, so he was really efficient during the last 20 games of the year. So doing more of that will be a key for the Orange, and this year he'll be more of a primary ball handler. Last year he was playing a lot off of Judah Mintz. He was, tasked with, attacking closeouts and things like that, slashing to the basket, things of that nature. He'll still be doing that because Jaquan Carlos is the starting point guard for this team. But when he goes to the bench, Starling will likely be the primary ball handler. I'm looking to see how can he operate in pick and roll? How can he operate as a floor general, especially, with the big guys that the team has now in Freeman and Lampkin. So how can he utilize them with the two-man game? That's something that I want to see. Shooting consistency as well, as you said, that's something that needs to carry over. He ended the year last year strong. Now just doing it for the whole year is a key.
Yeah, that's also why we bring back guys like Chris Bell, lights out shooter. He had 8 for 9 one game last year, so we'd like to see more of that. And it's nothing but opportunities. We got the big man duo, as you were saying, the additions, Chris Bell, J.J. Starling, bring it back. Let's see how it goes.
I think the key to this team, though, will be Chris Bell and Donnie Freeman. I think if they can play to their potential, I think that Syracuse can be in the upper echelon of the ACC, especially Freeman. He's a versatile forward. He's not somebody that's just going to put his back to the basket and, bang down low all day, but he has an outside touch. He has a nice mid-range jumper. He can face up and drive to the basket. He's extremely athletic. We saw that, in his time at IMG Academy. We saw it in even before that at St. John's College. I'm really excited to see how he develops his game, because this is a guy that's an NBA prospect. He's a legit NBA prospect. He's likely going to be
100%.
a first-round pick at the end of the season. So showcasing that ability, I think if Freeman can do that, that'll be key. And Chris Bell is another guy. Again, last year, a little bit inconsistent at times, and this year he can't be that inconsistent because he's going to be relied upon as one of the guys on the team. He's one of the older guys on the team. He's a junior now. He does have an NBA body. He does have an NBA shot. Now it's about, continuing to develop that, and on the defensive end as well, looking for steps forward for him there.
The games that Syracuse won, and won in convincing fashion, were the games where he played his best.
Yes.
And they're looking for more of that this year. Now, of course, one of the guys we mentioned earlier was Judah Mintz, and how he's not back. He is now in the NBA. He's with the 76ers. What do we expect to see from this offense now that there's no more Judah Mintz? Of course, with him, it was a very heliocentric offense. It was a lot of me. But what do we expect to see now?
Yeah, we're going to see more guys taking shots, which is a good thing. That's what we like. JJ, he's going to shoot more shots than he did last year, too. As I said, fill in that role for the number one guy. But I like the fact that, he's a great passer. We got Chris Bell out there, as you said, bring him back, all these new guys. It's definitely a huge silver lining to see him go. I think it opens doors on the defense, too. And, that is going to be a huge part of our success, is playing physical, tough defense. We were inconsistent last year, but now we have a chance to be more consistent, play tough every game, not take any games off. And that is how we're going to find success. That's how we're going to get into the tournament.
I think the offense is going to change a lot in terms of the paint's going to be emphasized more now that Syracuse finally has some size.
Yes.
I think we're going to see this team crash the glass a little bit more. Eddie Lampkin, one of the better rebounders in the country last year, he finished the season really, really strong with Colorado, and he's going to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder this season. As we said, 2 weeks ago, list came out, top 50 centers in college basketball. He was not on it. Eddie Lampkin posted about it on his social media, so he's going to be coming for a vengeance this season. I'm really excited to see how he plays because he can play with his back to the basket. He's really physical. He's a bigger guy. He's good at getting rebounds. And this year, he wants to showcase his outside shot. So I think getting him touches and, making him a focal point of the offense will be key. And I already touched on Freeman's game and what he can bring to the table. But I think a reliance on our front court this year is going to be something that we see from Syracuse because last year was very backcourt heavy. I think that's something that'll change.
And I think one thing you mentioned a little bit, the versatility of the front court. You mentioned that Eddie Lampkin, who is going to be a back-to-the-basket guy, but he does have that mid-range. He does have the ability to come out of the paint. Same thing with Donnie Freeman, who has that outside shot available. Having the versatility, along with Chris Bell, who's a great outside shooter, having the versatility available with your forwards is going to be key. Yeah. Because this team, like last year, it was a very stagnant offense. This year, you're looking for a lot more.
Yeah, and a guy that's coming off the bench this year, well, two guys that are coming off the bench this year in the front court. Naeem McLeod, he was out last year due to a foot injury. Excited to see how he develops. He's a bigger guy. Will he be a consistent rim protector and rebounder for this team? At times last year in the games that he played, he looked a little bit out of sorts, a little bit out of place. I'm excited to see what steps he's taken in his game. Jair Davis, transfer from Delaware. I really like his.
I'm excited for him.
He's very physical guy. He's strong. He's somebody that, will not get pushed around in the paint. He's also a veteran present. The guy's a grad student, so he's been there. He's played in big games. He's played in a lot of games. Maybe not big games at Delaware, but he has a lot of experience within college basketball. I think he's going to be a key for the team off the bench. Kyle Cuff as well, senior. I think he can be a big factor for them off the bench as well. So Syracuse, the good thing about them, they have a lot of depth this year in the backcourt and in the front court, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
And the depth is something they lacked last year, so it's a it's a very big improvement over what you had last year.
Yeah, and we didn't even mention Elijah Moore.
Moore, yes.
One of the better freshmen in the country. He can shoot the ball. He got the chopper as he likes to do, but I really think he can be a big piece for them in the ACC play.
Yeah, and what you said about Eddie Lampkin being left off the list, fuel to the fire. We'll take that. He shot 60% field goal percentage last year. And I don't think that number's going to stop, getting these minutes now for Q. So let's go. I like it. We got that depth. Nothing but excitement.
Exactly. And two guys you didn't even mention. Chance Westry, you're hoping is going to get a little bit of playing time this year. He was hurt last year, but you're hoping now he does something. And the late addition, Peter Majstorovic, who I'm seeing a lot of that he's going to get at least some playing time.
Yeah.
Played well in the exhibition game.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a project, though, and especially with the depth that they have in the front court, I don't think we'll see a lot of him early, maybe later in the season, but definitely somebody that, could maybe have a little bit of a role, at least during the season. But Syracuse, non-conference play, they have two tough matchups. They have Texas, they have Tennessee. We saw how it looked against Tennessee last year. They returned Sakai Ziegler. They returned a lot of their guys. So what are you guys looking to see in those matchups against higher-level D1 opponents?
I mean, as we said, I think it's a lot of what they didn't have last year. It's a lot of moving the ball. It's a lot of having your guys do a lot more than they're asked. And I mean, I mentioned the versatility of your forwards. That's going to need to be on full display in those matchups because you're not just going to be able to shut one guy down and you're going to be able to win. No, those are two top teams in the nation. You're going to have to do a lot.
Well, I think it's going to come from consistent defensive play, being physical throughout the entire game, each and every game. We saw there were a lot of points last year where we just fell off. It looked like as if we took almost entire quarters off, and that just can never be the case this year. We got new blood, we got size, we got some physicality. Freeman, Jair Davis, Eddie Lampkin. I like it. I like where it's looking on the defensive end of the ball. But let's go. That's where games are won. Defensive toughness and grit. Let's go.
It's that football mindset.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about this year for the Orange.
About what are your guys' predictions on the season?
I think this team will return to March. I think I think Syracuse from last year, as we've talked about, the depth's a lot better. And the teams that succeed in March, the teams that make it to March, have that depth. They have 8, 9, 10 guys that they can rely on. And I see that for the Syracuse team. I really do see 9, 10 potential contributors for this team. And that's something that they didn't have last year. And the ACC, at the top, it's strong. Duke, Carolina, definitely 1, 2, in whatever order you want to put them. But I think outside of that, it's a little bit wide open. And I think Syracuse can take advantage. I'm not saying they'll be that third team or that fourth team, but I think that they can build upon last year. I think that they're going to win games that they didn't really win last year because of the play style change. I think that they'll return to March.
I agree. I think they'll also return to March. I mean, just look at the roster filled from top to bottom with studs, with depth. As we've been talking about, something that we did not have last year. So I agree. I think we'll fall somewhere in that range, probably mid-lower seed in the tournament.
Yeah, in year 2 of Adrian Autry, he's gotten better as a coach. He's learned a lot, so something to look forward to as well.
Absolutely.
A lot to look forward to indeed. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but coming back, Syracuse got a big win on the gridiron over the weekend. We'll talk about it. Stick with us on ESPN 97.7, Newhouse Afternoon. All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure.
This will be hopefully a good season. No? What?
For what?
He was kicking while the band was playing.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like in their area. And then Fran Brown was saying, he was not happy about it in his press conference.
Oh.
Or today, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
funny.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's so funny. But yeah, they played. LaQuint Allen built the statue. I mean,
yeah, he's been.
He needed that.
Been calling for him for the last few weeks to finally.
Yeah, look what happens when we finally run the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we just could have ran the ball in the first quarter
Then
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we have something different.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
What we got for the wheel?
I have to still think of what to put in here.
We're talking SU football. Perfect.
Think. I'll say Juan Soto staying a Yankee.
Is he?
Juan Soto?
Is he resign?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's what I'm putting on the wheel.
They probably will.
He's going to land in a New York team. That's what I think. It'll be one of the two. I don't see him going L.A. I don't see him going anywhere else.
Soto?
Yeah.
He's a Met.
We'll see. I hope so.
No bias talking there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, none at all. I have sources.
Zero.
You need sources.
I have sources.
Yeah.
Personal.
I wish I had sources.
That'd be great. That would add a lot to the show.
Yeah, literally.
I knew Kyle McCord was coming to Hughes 2 weeks before he did.
Yeah.
Tight. No, but I'm not gonna lie. It's great we beat Virginia Tech and all, but not really impressed. Gonna be honest. I think.
Oh well, no, that's why I put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
A lot to be discussed.
Special teams is an absolute disaster.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah. If we didn't lose to Stanford, we'd be we tied for second or no, tied for third because SMU's hasn't lost yet.
Yeah. Well,
in the ACC.
Yeah.
Things would be different.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah.
Next three games, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll take it.
With 9 wins and then lose to Miami.
Exactly.
Beat Miami.
Yeah, I wish we could beat Miami's not going to have a ranked win this year. And they're
what?
And they're the 4th team in the country. They don't have a ranked win. They're not going to have a ranked win.
Are you serious?
Yeah, their best win's Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best one's Florida. Maybe Louisville. But yeah.
They barely.
Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Syracuse is their ending schedule. So,
Yeah.
And none of those teams are going to be ranked, most likely.
Yeah.
And then they'll get blasted by whoever they play in the college football playoff.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
And then Cam Ward will be a Giant.
Yeah, probably will be. For your sake, I hope he is.
I hope so.
Oh.
One. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. I'm Matt Lesnick, along with Izzy Tsai, Evan Fay, and now Syracuse football got a big bounce-back win over Virginia Tech this past weekend at the Dome in overtime, coming off, of course, a terrible game, really, against Pittsburgh. The Orange are able to bounce back at home. What did you like about this game, Izzy?
Well, offensively, again, the Orange played well. LaQuinn Allen, 3 touchdowns, 121 yards rushing. He was great. He's been great for the last few weeks for the Orange. He's been one of the offensive MVPs. In the receiving game, Justice Ross Simmons, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, 88 yards. He did a great job in that game. Obviously, Trevor Pena, it's another consistent guy for this team, 7 catches, 83 yards on the day. The offense has never been the problem for the Orange almost all season outside of the Pittsburgh game, which is just a disaster in all 3 phases of the game. But generally speaking, the offense has been one of the better ones in the ACC, and we expected that with Kyle McCord coming in. However, again, the defense left a lot to be desired. I know that they ended the game on the turnover, which was great, but you're playing a backup quarterback, and you still gave up 31 points, and they were down 14-0 after the first quarter. That's just simply not going to get it done. And special teams is just a disaster. And it's one of the most important parts of the game, and the Orange just suck at it. Let's just call it what it is.
What did you see, Evan?
Well, first of all, let's see what happens when you run the football.
Yeah.
Wins are what happens. 121 yards, 3 touchdowns for Allen, as we said. If only we did that the other week in the first quarter when we threw all those interceptions. However, as you said, great bounce-back win. I'm happy about it. It's a little concerning considering that Kyron Jones was out. We're playing their backup. They're up on us, winning for pretty much the entire game. We barely came back and won. Much needed, but it could have been more satisfying considering all the factors involved.
Yeah, and defensively, gave up 249 yards rushing, 5 yards a carry, almost 7 yards a play. And we talked about when the Orange had their bye week that the defense needed to be fixed, that they needed to come back with a vengeance, and they just haven't done that in the past couple of weeks. I know that they were able to. Marla Wax has come back the last 2 games. He's been really strong. He had 2 sacks on the game, 2 tackles for loss. He was great. Fidel Diggs had the fumble recovery late. So, the defense has the guys. It's just they're not playing together as a unit sometimes, and that has been costly for the Orange in the games that they've lost.
The run defense is what we specifically were talking about. And you mentioned they gave up over 230 rushing yards. And we've just been seeing, and it feels like that's where they're just getting dominated every game. And you kind of look and you're like, how can this be fixed?
Yeah, really, what is troubling to me is the special teams, Matt, as you were saying. 2010 Chargers, we went over this.
Yeah.
Best offense in the league, best defense in the league, worst special teams didn't make the playoffs. It is that important. It's often overlooked. Man, I love special teams, and when we underperform in it, it makes such a huge difference to every facet of the game. I'm hoping and praying that Fran Brown hones in on special teams this week and we come back improving like no other.
Yeah, now we look at the Orange and we look at the rest of the ACC. Obviously, Miami and SMU are at the top, 5-0, undefeated in the conference. Then you have teams like Clemson, Pittsburgh, 5-1 Clemson, 3-1 Pittsburgh. Syracuse is 3-2 in conference play, and the Stanford loss in week 3 really hurts that much more because
Really
Syracuse,
hurts.
if they win that game, they would be 4-1 in ACC play, and they would be in the mix for the ACC championship. It would be a bit of a long shot. I mean, it's already a long shot already, but they would have a better chance at maybe sneaking into the game if SMU lost.
No, we can't talk about this, man.
I know it's hurt. It hurts that the Orange have had their missed opportunities, but. Are you guys encouraged about Fran Brown's first year so far, or has he left a little bit to be desired?
I'm very encouraged. I'm very encouraged. I think it's a big step up culture-wise from last year. I mean, just through the quad walks alone, those it gives you hope that he wants to be here. He's building something, and I mean, look, he's done great in getting transfers and recruiting. That's what he was brought in here to do. Just the X's and O's. Just needs a little bit of improvement, which that's going to come. It's his first year as a coach.
He's a first year head coach. You're going to have growing pains like that. It's not concerning that, I would say the culture part is the most important thing when you're a first year coach, because the X's and O's, if you're a first time guy, they'll come.
Exactly.
And, you'll get more experienced guys on the staff. Players will get older as well, although this team does have a lot of transfers and a lot of guys that have played a lot of college football already, which is a little concerning as to, the special teams and defense. But I'm really encouraged by what Fran Brown has been doing, and I think year 2 could be even better. And still got 3 games left against Boston College, UConn, and Miami. So if you can finish the season with 8 wins, I feel like that's a victory.
I am most certainly encouraged by the coaching of Fran Brown this season, just because I love him as a coach, of course. I love him as a guy and what he's done here, and as you're saying, changing the culture, within our team, that is so important. But, it's tough just because expectations were ablazing to start the season. They were so high, and we fell short, some tough losses. We fell short a little bit, but that still is to say that Fran Brown has been fantastic, and I love what he's doing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, only one ranked opponent left on your schedule. You end with Miami to end the season, so hopefully we can see how the Orange look, because the last time they played a ranked opponent just a couple of weeks ago, it did not look great against Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh's been one of the better teams in the ACC, but you would have liked the Orange to at least remain competitive, but that game was over by halftime. So hopefully they can learn from that, take that, finish the season strong, and not have starts like that.
I agree. And look, this is for the third straight year, they clinched their 6th win.
Yeah.
They're going bowling.
Another bowl game.
In his first year as head coach, that's an extremely encouraging sign from Fran Brown. And I think I mentioned it just a couple minutes ago. It's an encouraging sign for things to come.
Yeah.
And absolutely. You can only go up from here.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you want to see more transfers, more recruiting classes, and that's something that Fran Brown has come in with. He's done a really good job at bringing in guys, that fit the system, that fit the culture, and bringing players that have played in big time games. We talked about Kyle McCord, Ohio State. That's as big as it gets in college football.
Exactly.
Really, one of the top programs in the
nation.
nation.
Brought in a lot of guys from Texas A&M,
exactly,
Georgia, where his coaching staff and him were very present beforehand.
Exactly. So, just having that, I feel like, has been a great culture change for Syracuse, because this school didn't really care about football as much, but I feel like Fran Brown is making them care. And,
yes.
100%.
He owns the Northeast in terms of recruiting. Guys from New Jersey, New York, wherever on the East Coast now consider Syracuse as one of their top schools, instead of going to somewhere like Rutgers or whatever.
Usually Michigan.
Yeah, or Michigan or Penn State even. So it's good to see Syracuse in the mix for those for even some 5-star recruits as well.
That it is. We'll see what happens the rest of the season with this Orange team. But we're going to take a quick break. Coming back, we'll do some NFL debating. Stick with us on ESPN 97.7, Newhouse Afternoon.
From opening night.
Yep.
All right.
NFL, baby.
NFL.
Deadline's tomorrow.
Deadline is tomorrow.
The biggest event happening in the world tomorrow, totally.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Totally.
Nothing else will be covered.
Yes, there's totally not like the future of the country on the line.
No, nothing like that.
No, definitely not.
No.
But yeah, so again, 2 Giants, 2 Bills, 2 Jets questions.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I wanted to switch the last Jets question because I feel like it was similar.
Which one is
to the sign of things to come, so we can change it to something.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I just haven't been able to think of it though.
I'm trying to think here.
Let's see.
Banks. I mean, like, they're the Jets.
Oh.
How bad has Deontay Banks been this season?
He's
been terrible.
I'm sorry. I've been saying this for like.
Does
2
he still
years.
get mad minutes?
Giants fans didn't want to believe me. Banks is not that good.
He's given up 6 touchdowns in 9 games. 2 yesterday. The only 2 catches he gave. Yeah, two to Terry, and those were Terry's only 2 catches.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got benched for low effort last week.
He just can't be a number 1 corner. He just can't.
And the problem is our best corner is our nickel right now. He can't line up on the outside.
Yeah.
And look, Andrew Phillips is a great player, but he's not going to be able to cover your.
God, put him on an X, it's over.
Oh, he's never going to be able to cover CD Lamb, or Terry McLaurin. He's just.
Yeah.
Again,
Look, the Giants just have a lot of holes.
It's okay. It's your secondary. It's your O-line.
More than one.
Everything else is.
And your quarterback.
Well, yes, that's a given. That's a given. But
yeah,
that's where it starts.
Yeah, second. Yeah, exactly. The position, the importance is what I was talking about.
QBs, everything.
Yeah.
Again, you've got one of the best D lines in the country in the league when healthy.
Yeah.
But now Thibodeau's hurt. You're probably going to trade Ojulari.
Yeah.
I can't believe Dexter Lawrence still wants to be here.
Yeah, beats me, but hey.
Beats me.
You could get 2 firsts for him, and I'd be mad that they trade him because
he's very good.
He's one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah, literally.
But it's just.
Hey, Danny Dimes didn't play too bad.
No, he had a good game. Just in the first half, he had 0 passing yards.
Yeah.
4 for 4, 1 touchdown, 0 passing yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Tracy's pretty good.
Yeah, I like Tyron Tracy.
Tyron Tracy's a good running back.
Neighbors is a beast. Of course.
Neighbors, of course, yeah. They didn't get him too involved yesterday.
He had 9 catches.
In the fourth quarter they got him, but like throughout the first 3, he just like wasn't.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
What'd you get on there?
Putting Jets draft in the QB.
Nice.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah.
What are they, 3 and 6?
And Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. Matt Lesnick with Izzy Sy and Evan Fay. Welcome to debate class, gentlemen. We're going to be talking about some NFL here. Giants, Jets, and Bills. You'll take one side, you'll take the other.
Yes.
There we go.
After it.
All right, so before we get into that, though, this hour of Newhouse Afternoon is powered by Drivers Village Cicero. Go to dvoffers.com for more info. Okay, first topic here. The Texans game, Thursday night. The Jets got a big win. Much needed win, stopped a 4-game skid. Is a sign of things to come for the Jets. Evan, I'll start with you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, the Jets winning 1 game and moving from 2 and 6 to 3 and 6. I would not say that is signs of things to come. You know, I'm a little sick and tired of the Jets and Jets fans having this undeserved confidence whenever it comes to their football club. You know, all respect to the Jets and their effort on this season, but I would not say that a singular win against C.J. Stroud and the Texans would say it's for sure things to come just because of what we've seen in every week prior to this, losing to the Patriots. It's hard to get lower than that. I mean, it is encouraging that you don't fall even further into that pit, and we see some signs of resilience for the Jets. So I will give them kudos to that. I love resilience. I love coming back after being hated on by the media, getting a good win from a divisional opponent. And so is it signs of things to come? No. Is it encouraging to see? Do I like to see it? Yes.
I'm going to go on the opposite. I think this is a sign of things to come, and here's why. Against the Texans, the Jets had 8 sacks, and they finally, Hassan Reddick is back in the lineup, and he looked integrated, he looked fresh. Quinnen Williams looked like a monster in the defensive line. The defense played great. I know the Texans were missing playmakers, they were missing Stephon Diggs, they were missing Nico Collins, but they were able to get to C.J. Stroud that many times. They were pressuring him all night. I believe he only had like 3 or 5 dropbacks where he wasn't pressured. So seeing the Jets defense play like that was encouraging. Another thing, the offense looked good for like one of the first times in the last few weeks. Garrett Wilson probably had the catch of the year. He did the Jordan logo and he's with Adidas. Like I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be with the Adidas much longer after that. Devontae Adams, he had his best game as a Jet. He had the game-clinching touchdown to end the game. Rodgers finally looked like the cayenne pepper and water is working. I don't know. But if the Jets are playing this way and the rest of their schedule, I'm looking at it. They do play the Cardinals, who somehow lead the NFC West, even though I was kind of higher on them. I was higher on them than most entering the season. I just did not expect this, but they played great football. But outside of that, you have the Colts, who have looked a little shaky the last few weeks. Who's going to be starting quarterback in the next 2 weeks? We don't know. The Seahawks haven't looked great the last few weeks. The Dolphins have been really bad all season. The Jaguars have been really bad all season. The Rams have been inconsistent all season. The Bills are probably going to win the division, but it's a Week 17 game. Are they going to be full throttle by then? Who knows? And then they end the season with the Dolphins again. So this schedule looks favorable. There's a lot of teams in the AFC that are jumbled up in that 3-6, 4-4, 5-4 range, and there are some teams that do have tough schedules that are ahead of them. I think if the Jets can take advantage of the easier teams on their schedule and keep playing the way that they did against the Texans, I think that they can make a run. So I think it's encouraging, and I think this could be a sign of things to come.
Well, they have a lot of winning to do if that is the case. Yes. And I'm not quite sure if I buy it, but time will tell.
Honestly, they could finish 9-8 and make the playoffs. That's how bad the bottom of the AFC is right now. So I think that they have a chance of doing it.
It's a lot of games for a football team called the New York Jets to win.
Yes.
That is true. Time will tell indeed. However, let's move to upstate New York. The trade deadline is tomorrow, and the Bills, coming off a win a couple weeks ago, they added Amari Cooper. Is there another missing piece they need to add before tomorrow's deadline?
No, I don't think that they need to add anything. I think the Bills are ready for the stretch run. Amari Cooper didn't play yesterday, but they were still able to beat the Dolphins, albeit the Dolphins have not been great all season. I don't think the Bills need another piece. I think they have what they need to compete for a Super Bowl, to compete in the AFC, to compete with the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens. Josh Allen's playing the best football of his career, in my opinion. He's not turning the ball over. He's hitting his receivers. He's been a threat in the red zone. Like, anytime the Bills get in the red zone, you know that's going to be a touchdown. They've been consistent. They've been good. And I know against the contenders that they played, they did not look great, but that's a different team from the beginning of the season. So I think the Bills have what they need to compete for a Super Bowl.
I agree with you, Izzy. The Bills are proving that they are ready to get down and dirty for their wins. They got down and dirty this past game against the Dolphins. It was a game that they should have won, but it was a gritty, hard-fought, close win. And we will need to see a lot of that coming down the stretch. The Bills, as you're saying, I think Josh Allen's playing his best football. I think the Bills are as good as anybody in the AFC, especially probably the whole NFL. I think they're as good as anybody, but they have some tough games that they'll have to play before the season ends. They got Detroit, they got Kansas City, they got the 49ers. So they're gonna have to get down and dirty a couple more times this season before the playoffs, but I think they're ready for it.
Yes, sir.
All right, now moving back downstate, or to New Jersey, actually. The New York Giants yesterday took a loss at the hands of the Washington Commanders. Fall to 2-7 on the year, and one of the guys who's been the subject of many headlines is cornerback Deonte Banks, who was a first-round pick. Now, Banks gave up 2 touchdowns yesterday, 2 catches to Terry McLaurin, which were his only 2 catches on the day. He was benched last week for lack of effort. Is he starting to become a problem for the Giants, and is he something they might need to move on from? Evan, I'll start with you.
I mean, getting benched from an NFL team for lack of effort, I mean, that is...
Seems to be a growing theme in the NFL this season, by the way. But
why? How has it come to this? How has it come to this? I mean, that is all you have to say. You know, if you're a rookie, you can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that.
Look, for Deontay Banks, he's like an actual bank. He's always open Monday through Friday and on Sundays. You know, banks are supposed to be closed on Sundays, but this guy's leaving wide receivers open day in, day out. If I'm the Giants, I bench him because you're losing games because of him.
Yeah,
because he can't cover X wide receivers. And I know it's hard to cover the likes of Terry McLaurin, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb alone in your division. But at the end of the day, you have to at least try. Getting benched for lack of effort and you're in the NFL, that's a bit disappointing. And, you know, I think he obviously needs to play better, but I think he can learn a lot by getting benched, and I think that's what the Giants need to do.
Well, you are a first-round draft pick now.
Yeah.
First-round draft pick. That is expectations to the highest degree. Yeah. So let's start playing to it. Let's start acting like it. Come on.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree.
As if the Giants don't have enough problems.
Exactly. Yeah. You got another guy who you took in the first round a year before who's also in the same boat and hasn't played a game this year. So, you know.
There's a laundry list.
There's a laundry list. And now, sticking with the Giants, though, of course, they fall to 2-7. This year's QB class, some don't consider it as strong. Should they wait a year and stick it out one more year with Daniel Jones to give a chance at Arch Manning?
That's tough. Because I would say it depends on where you finish the season. Because right now, what pick do the Giants have?
They are tied technically for first, but they're like 7 because there's like 7 2-7 teams.
Yeah, every team in the NFL has
2 wins, right?
Yeah.
Look, I think if you finish in the top 5, you have to take a QB, though. I think because you'll have a chance at Shador, you'll have a chance at Cam Ward, you'll have a chance at Jalen Milroe, you'll have a chance at those guys. I think one of those 3 will be really, really. I think all of them will be really good in the NFL, but I think one of those 3 will fit the Giants and what they want in a quarterback. They're all leaders. They're all guys that have been through it. They've won at top programs in college football, and Colorado wasn't really good before Shador got there, and now they're one of the best teams in the Big 12, so that's got to be encouraging. And obviously Ward and Milroe have played in high-level games for powerhouse programs. But I think the Giants do need to address the QB problem because they've been waiting a little too long, and you don't want to run the risk of not being able to position yourself for Arch Manning in 2026. You have to focus on the now, and the future is now for the Giants, and their rebuild is now. I think they need to address the QB problem this year, especially if they finish in the top 5.
Danny Jones has got to go ASAP. I don't care when, how, and it just needs to be as soon as possible. He has gotten so many chances. What season is this from? This 5th?
Year 6.
This is year...
72 games of Daniel Jones, and we've seen quarterbacks get benched left and right.
I mean, how many quarterbacks, if you're a high school quarterback and your dreams to be an NFL quarterback, and you get 72 games to try to improve yourself... I mean, that is. Let's not waste any more games. I mean, with all due respect to Dan Jones, we've had some beautiful moments. We've had some funny moments.
It's been like maybe 2 beautiful moments.
Beautiful moments.
That debut game, you can't tell me what you weren't thinking that this man wasn't going to be a star. I don't. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
900. 99.
Danny Dimes got to go. I mean,
he's got to go.
There's really no Dimes anyway in New York, but I think it's time for him to go.
I unfortunately agree. Now, our last one, sending it back to Buffalo. The Bills, of course, improved to 7-2 after the win this past week, and they're a big threat. Are they a bigger threat than the Chiefs in the AFC?
No, I have to see the Bills against the Chiefs in order to determine that. I mean, look, these are the 3-time Super Bowl champs, back-to-back Super Bowl champion winners, undefeated, might I add. They do play tonight against Tampa, so we'll see how that turns out. But I don't think the Bills are a bigger threat than the Chiefs. I think they are a threat to the Chiefs. I think them and the Ravens definitely have the best shot at dethroning the Chiefs in the AFC. But I think until further notice, the Chiefs are going to come out of the AFC, and we'll see when these 2 teams match up how it turns out, but I think for right now it's a little too early to say that they're a bigger threat than Kansas City.
If there's any team that I would say would beat the Chiefs or is their biggest threat, I would say it is the Buffalo Bills, and I surely hope that happens later on. But I mean, we can't say that any team is better than the most winningest team in the last 5 years. I mean, no one is better than the Chiefs, we must say. Until they get dethroned, then we can say that. But right now, we cannot.
And we're going to see this matchup in 2 weeks, November 17th.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We'll see where the Bills are on the contender
A revenge
scale.
game.
Yes.
I agree, and especially if Patrick Mahomes is not playing his best ball right now, and they're still 7-0, that defense.
Yeah, that says something.
One of the best, maybe in the last decade.
Yeah, and honestly, it's poetic justice for Mahomes because he's had to carry that defense for most of his career, but the last 2-3 years, they've been one of the better units in football. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, and the offensive line as well. I mean, and Mahomes debatably playing the worst football of his career, and they're still undefeated, unable to lose games. I mean, it's impressive. We get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now we're going to take a quick break, but coming back, we're going to do some Wheel of Buy or Sell, as well as have a not-so-sweet treat. So stick with us on ESPN 97.7, Newhouse Afternoon.
Don't miss the Kyle McCord Show.
Oh, me too.
Oh, my God.
All right, what do we need for the wheel, though?
Okay. Trying to think some like NBA stuff.
I'm trying to think of the Nets.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Ooh, definitely an NBA question.
Yeah.
The Nets are kind of booty though.
Dennis Schroeder continue hot start.
He's been really bad the last 2 games, so no, I'm a Cavs fan.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
We're
I knew that.
the best team in the NBA. That's what we are.
Are you?
No, I'm kidding. We're 7-0 right now, but
You're 7-0.
yeah.
No
7-0.
way.
Best start in like 50 years. Let's see.
Live question.
What else? NFL.
Something about what happened.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a tough one.
Yeah, and I think maybe one more.
Oh, actually, honestly, they're both of the best right now. So you should say QB1. Yeah.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah, this is gonna be horrible.
Dude, I haven't had one since I was like 4 years old.
I know it's a little like late.
Honestly, those are fine.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
Let's see.
Or wait, do we need a? Can we keep college basketball one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Season starting today.
And what's this one say? Yankees. Oh.
Okay, I know they're hated around here, but
The Celtics.
I mean I feel like it has to be asked.
Yeah, I agree.
What is it?
Yeah. The team in blue.
Oh, the Devils in blue.
Yeah. Those guys. Those people.
They who shall not be named.
Yeah. Well, the Cooper Flag, I do love Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag is really good.
I love Cooper Flag so much. Why did he have to go to Why? Why couldn't he go
Why
to
not accused?
Yeah, well, we didn't have a chance, but why not stay home at Maine, bro? Like they got
Oh, yeah, let's go to Maine.
Yeah, they got a great program. Like no, they don't, but
Cardinals are trading for Baron Browning.
yeah, he has like 9.5 career sacks in 5 years. I'm not losing sleep over that one, honestly. He hasn't even played that much this year.
Yeah.
Damn.
And they signed Jonathan Cooper to a 4-year extension.
There we go, well deserved. Well, what's the money on that?
Doesn't say. It's just a JPA post.
Okay.
Let me see.
Let's see if one of the right here. 33 million guaranteed.
60 million total.
It's not bad. I'll take that. He's been
Yeah.
really good. He's been really good. Probably
right.
been our best pass rusher.
Yeah.
Knicks 3-2.
Yeah, they started off a little slow, a little bit. So just
Everyone's freaking out.
they'll be fine. But it's only been 5. Listen, NBA and 82 games. I usually wait till like the 25 game mark to like see
Make any judgments.
Yeah, to make any judgments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless someone's like really, really bad, which most of the time they're really not. But
All right.
Like the Nets will be.
yeah, they haven't been terrible though to start out, but they'll plateau at some point.
Yeah. Oh, they will, of course.
Yeah,
They are.
this is not lasting.
No.
Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today, broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. Matt Lesnick with Evan Fay and Izzy Tsai. I'm going to do a little bit of Wheeler buy or sell, of course. Izzy, do you want the first spin here?
Yeah, of course. Let's
All
do it.
right, let's
Take
see.
it.
What do we got here? What do we got here? Starting off, the Yankees collapsed last week in the fifth inning. Was it the worst collapse in baseball history?
I mean, that I can remember. Honestly, it might be. It's definitely
Wow.
up there. That fifth inning was horrible, and just the defense. First of all, Rizzo and the Cole miscommunication, that was bad. Judge dropping a routine fly ball,
Unheard of.
Just I know the Yankees were down 3-1 anyway, but if they won that game 3-2, you go back to LA, you give yourself a chance. And the fact that you couldn't even give yourself that chance because of things that you control, like errors and catching fly balls and knowing where to be defensively, it's got to sting for the Yankees and their fans. And
Disheartening.
this might be a different team next year. So this was their shot, and they kind of blew it in that inning.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
see
I'm
nothing
buying
to-
on
I-
that, yeah.
You're buying that it's the worst collapse, which I off the top of my head, I can't really think, but I don't necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm
disagree.
saying. That I can remember. I think this was the worst.
I don't disagree with that, Evan. I'll give you the next spin here, though.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
What do we got here?
Some interesting topics
Yes,
here
we
on
do.
the wheel.
Let's see what
All
we
right.
got.
All right. The Knicks' slowish start is a reason for concern. Do you buy or sell that?
Is it reason for certain? I would say no. So I would sell there just because it is so early in the season. It is too early in the season. There's only 5 games in, so it's impossible to tell. Yeah, I would say definitely not enough concern for me to say with any conclusion 5 games in that there's something to be looked at. But I like we saw what we've wanted to see so far. We see Cat kind of dusting off the sandals, dropping in for 45 the other night. That's
Yeah.
what we wanted to see. We're seeing defensively, they're playing pretty well. They're getting some good wins. You're not going to win every single game. Even the Celtics have lost one. So 3-2, at least you have a winning record for the Knicks. I'd like to see if they could put the money where their mouth is, or vice versa. But can they do what they got to do this season?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I agree with you. I'm selling on that. It's only 5 games. This is an 82 game marathon, not an 82 game sprint. So, and this is a new look team, and this is a team that's only been together for a couple of weeks. So I think they'll be fine. Although one thing though, they did beat the Pistons by 30, but your starters, this Knicks starters, still played heavy minutes. So that's something to watch out for. Again, Tom Thibodeau, as we talked about, needs
Tends
to
to
change
run out his guys.
Needs to change his coaching style. So I know it's only been 5 games, so I'll give the guy time to change. Although he's had almost 20 years to change, but we'll
It's
see.
not happening.
Yeah, we'll
No.
see.
I'm also going to sell on that. I think we've seen the great chemistry. We're seeing some great passing from Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm going to sell on that as well. But I'll go with the next spin here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay. Juan Soto staying a Yankee.
What do you think?
As a Mets fan, the fan in me is saying sell and that he's going to be going cross town
That orange and blue.
to Queens. But unfortunately, I do think he's going to be staying a Yankee. I don't see him going anywhere else. I think
No.
they're going to do whatever they can to keep him. He's the other than Aaron Judge, he's the whole reason they were even in the World Series. I mean, he's one of the best hitters in the league, and I don't see any world he's not a Yankee next season.
Yeah, and like you said, got to take the fan bias out of it. I think he's going to stay a Yankee as well. I think ownership is going to do whatever it takes to lock him down, because if he does stay a Yankee, he has a chance to be one of the all-time great Yankees. And,
which is saying something
which
for
is
that.
Which is saying something for
something.
an organization with the stars that have rolled through there. And when Aaron Judge retires, we might be looking at him as the next captain of the New York Yankees as well. So that's something that Soto has the chance to do. And I think if they throw $600 million at him for like 12, 13 years, whatever it's going to be, I don't think he's going to say no to that. So
No.
It's the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing that makes someone more hungry than a loss in the championship. So he's going to come back. He's going to be hungrier than ever. He's going to re-sign probably for stupid amount of
$100
money.
billion.
$1 trillion.
Whatever the evil empire is willing to give him.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Good way of putting it. All right. I'll take the next spin.
Izzy will get the next spin here.
All right, let's see.
Might be last or second to last here.
Okay.
The Jets drafting a quarterback. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old, and he hasn't played his best ball this year.
Ain't getting younger.
Look, I'm going to sell for now, though, because I want to see how they finish the season. Like I said, I am optimistic about how they can finish the year. They do have a lighter schedule. The offense looked great against a good Texans defense. I think that I'm selling for now, and if Rodgers can, keep drinking that cayenne pepper, man, I think,
Thomas Morstead is working wonders.
Yeah, and who knew that a punter would be saving the Jets' offense, right? So I think I'm going to be selling on that for now, because I think the Jets do have potential to finish strong.
Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers keeps playing well, I think he's definitely in for one more season. He looks healthy enough on that ankle. Hopefully, he starts playing better.
Yeah,
But
Just throw the ball to Garrett Wilson, and
and he'll catch it.
Yeah. So.
All right, last one, Evan. I'll give this one to you here.
Let's do it.
All right, college basketball. The team from Durham.
The question that we
the Duke
tried
Blue
to
Devils.
avoid.
Will they be winning it all?
The boys in blue. I'd love to sit here and say, no, they're not. But in my heart, I feel like they are. Just the amount of hype, the amount of star power that they have, that those boys in blue have down in Durham. I think we can't escape the inevitable. I'd like to, offer me someone who's going to beat them.
Yeah, look, I think that they're going to be one of the best teams in college basketball. I think that they're going to be the best team in the ACC. They're deep, they're talented, they have a nice mix of veterans and a nice mix of young guys. I think that Duke will win the ACC. I think they'll go far in the tournament. I don't think they're going to win it all this year. I think the Kansas Jayhawks will win the national championship.
Okay.
That's fair.
I don't hate that take.
I think that they're the best team in the country. Last year, they didn't come into the tournament at full strength, and that kind of compromised them. They got blown out of the water by Gonzaga. I think Bill Self is going to have his team ready. I think Hunter Dickinson's one of the best players in college basketball. I think Kansas is going to win it all this year.
That's fair, and I don't hate either take. I don't have my pick yet. I'd have to wait for the season to
it's
go
way
on.
it's way too early.
It's a little early. The season hadn't even started yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, to end the show, one thing we bring up, it seems like every week, is our disdain for candy corn. Now, I realized, my mother decided she thought this was funny, and she sent me a bag of candy corn. And I decided I haven't had candy corn in a decent amount of time. So for good reason. However, I figure we try some.
Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah.
if you want to take one here.
Yeah, I'll take one. We gotta do it.
I've got my water. I've got my tissues in case I really need to spit this out.
Oh my God!
Evan,
I don't want to understate how traumatizing this is. I haven't had one since I was 5 years old.
This thing right here is the candy of Halloween.
I
don't know how.
Projectile vomit as a youth.
Yep.
All right.
3,
2, 1. I couldn't even get a bite.
Oh.
Okay, here, Yep.
Yeah, give me.
Couldn't even get a bite in, man.
Yeah, please.
That is bad, man.
Oh,
that is nasty.
Oh my God.
No, I'm finishing it out.
I'm sorry.
I wish I was faking this.
There's no flavor.
Oh my God. Ooh.
Yeah, I wish I was faking that. It's bad. Candy corn needs to be eradicated. So
I agree.
I'm glad we can all be on the same page.
Off
now.
the face of the earth. Get it off.
Completely.
I'm really happy about that. That we came to a consensus for once on the show that something is really not good for you. So I think we need to get rid of candy corn.
What is even in, like...
I don't know.
Like, it's okay. It's sugar, corn syrup. Like it's a bunch of stuff that just shouldn't go together. I guess
it's not worth the calories. It's just there's so many other candies.
Like
out
Danny
there.
Dimes, it's got to go.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree. You see
now, all right. That's the best way to end it here.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
All right.
I'm glad Halloween's over. Thanksgiving season's here, so we can talk about better Thanksgiving foods as we enter Thanksgiving break here in the next couple of weeks.
Completely
And
agree.
the Lions losing a football game.
Yeah,
well, maybe not this year, but it's a usual tradition.
Yeah, Amon-Ra keeps doing those handstands. I think they're going to be winning a lot of games.
It's a usual tradition, but that's all the time we got today on Newhouse Afternoon. Stick with us next week and tomorrow for another episode. But I'm Matt Lesnick alongside Izzy Sy and Evan Fay. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This is Orange Nation.
We hear about the Dartmouth